Hello ladies and gentlemen, Tevaron here, back again laddering with a deck that I do not have all the cards for, but we are making do the best we can with what we do have. Today it is going to be Elysian Midrange, which is considered to be a tier 3 deck, though it can still do a good job. It's the beefiest of the mid-range decks that you can play, or that most people play, in Eternal. I will leave a link in the description below if you'd like to see one of the actual deck lists that have all the cards that you're supposed to have. Which, you know, stock lists being what they are, people do adjust to their own taste. I myself am just lacking a lot of the legendaries and rares, but it's been doing an okay job, even as it is. So let's go through and see what we are running. We're running 3 Copper Conduit, which is a 0/0 for X. It has Power Surge, Overwhelm, and Summon. The Power Surge means that you have to spend all your power when you play it, and its power and toughness are equal to the amount of power that you spend. Overwhelm is equivalent to Trample. When it is blocked by an enemy, then whatever damage isn't dealt to kill the enemy is dealt to your opponent instead, and the Summon is giving it plus power and toughness equal to the amount of power that you played. We're running 4 Initiative Sands. It is a 1-cost 1/1 that increases our maximum power by 1 while it's in play. Basically, if we're talking in Magic terms, it's a Llanowar elf that doesn't have to tap to add mana to your mana pool. Also, 3 Permafrost. 1 cost stuns a unit permanently until they silence it or some other way to get rid of the curse. 2 Seek Power, rather. Sometimes I get confused. This is the cost of the cards, and this is how many we're running. So hopefully, if I get that mixed up going over this, you'll forgive me for that. This allows us to draw a sigil of our choice from our deck. 4 Storm Lynx, 2 cost, 2/3 with Ambush, so we can play it at instant speed when our opponent attacks or at the end of their turn. 2 Temple Scribes, which is a 2-mana 1/1 that when it comes into play, we gain a life and draw a card. 4 Ageless Mentors is a 3-cost 2/3. When we play it, all units in our hand with cost 4 or more get +2/+2, and that is a permanent bonus. 2 Dawnwalker, a 3-mana 4/1 with Overwhelm. When we play a unit with 5 or more power, play Dawnwalker from the void exhausted, so it can recur over and over as long as it's not been silenced. We're running 2 Eye of Winter, and this is a card that most of these mid-range decks don't run, but I am filling slots. As I said, it's a relic that costs 3, and once per turn we may pay 2 power to stun an enemy unit. We're running also 4 False Prince. It's a 3-cost 5/5 with Overwhelm. The downside to this is if they target it with a spell, it transforms into a 1/1 frog. 2 Pteriax Hatchling, a 3-cost 2/1 flyer with Echo, and Echo means when we draw it, we get an additional copy of it. That even includes in our opening hand. It does count as drawing the card. Running 2 Scorpion Wasp, a 3-cost 1/1 with Flying, Deadly, and Ambush. Deadly is akin to Death Touch in Magic. Whatever it deals damage to, it dies. That's other than the opposing player, that is. Ambush, again, we can play it at instant speed to block out of nowhere. We're running 1 Marisen's Disciple, a 4-cost 2/2. When we play it, we get to also play either a 1/1 Scorpion with Deadly, a 2/2 Locust with Flying, or a 3/3 Sandcrawler with Overwhelm, and that's our choice of what to make. This is the card I've been spending my Flux Stone on lately, or Shift Stone, I may be getting the name wrong, to craft legendaries. We have 3 of them in the deck. It is a 4-cost 5/6 with Endurance, so it can attack and block in the same series of turns, and also can't be stunned or exhausted by the opponent. It also causes units that fly to no longer be able to fly as long as it's in play. We're running 4 Xenan Obelisk. It is another relic for 4 cost. All our units get +1/+1, and if we have 8 or more maximum power, they get +2/+2 instead. We're running 1 Crystallize, and I would like to have the second, but I'm just not going to break down and craft a bunch of rares when I'm trying to save up for legendaries. 5-cost spell that deals 1 damage to each enemy unit and stuns them. 1 Twin Brood Sauropod, a 5/4 with Echo. one predatory Carnosaur, a 6/6 with killer, so once after we play this, we can have it attack another unit directly. And we're also running 3 Scouting Party, a 6-cost spell that plays 4 1/1 Yeti Spies. The Yeti Spies have Infiltrate, which means the first time they deal damage to the opponent, we get to draw a card. This synergizes very well, as you might imagine, with the Xenan Obelisks. Our power base is 5 Primal Sigils, 7 Time Sigils, 3 Amber Sigils, 4 Diplomatic Seal, 4 Elysian Banner, and 4 Seat of Wisdom. So, let's play a few matches, shall we? Okay, I think this is keepable, although we are going to need double time sigils and we only have 1 seek power, so perhaps we should mulligan. Yeah, that seems like maybe it's a bit better. We do still need to draw more sigils. However, we'll play our monument. We do have the double time that a lot of our cards require. Oni Ronin. So we're up against a very aggressive deck here. Hopefully we won't get stalled on resources and not be able to compete with it. Getting their war cry going on the Ronin. Looks like it is Rakano, so we're a bit familiar with that. That is, if you've watched my previous Rakano video. Passed back over, going to try to surprise them with our Lynx here. Going to ambush it in and attempt to block that. And we were successful, so that's good for us. They have gotten 3 war cries going though, so that's bad. One of them appears to have been onto the Ronin there. And we are not drawing sigils, which is very bad for us. Hammer of Might. Yeah, I think this game's just rapidly getting away from us. And we will trade here. There's a sigil finally. This girl has quick draw, which means when she's attacking, if she deals enough damage to kill something, it doesn't get to deal damage back to her. So there are several ways that we could go. We could go with this. However, we're not guaranteed to draw any more sigils, so we're going to play out our False Prince for now. That should at least hold this Oni Ronin at bay. Hopefully, that is. If they have a torch or whatever, they can target the False Prince. It will turn into a frog and then die from the 3 damage. Okay, another Hammer of Might there. No blocks. Going to 8 life. Soon to be dead, I would imagine. Let's play our Ageless Mentor. I mean, there is the Scorpion Wasp, however, with the quick draw on this, the Wasp will never get to deal damage to it. And they're getting a ton of war cries going off of that. We need a Permafrost to deal with it. That is not a Permafrost. I suppose this gets part way there, in any rate. End turn. We'll be chumping with our False Prince this turn, I think. Next turn we can play our Obelisk, and hopefully our Titan will hold this off as well. However, any sort of pump or damage dealing spell will make that just not plausible. And actually, I should have attacked with it, as it can attack and block. It has endurance. Well, it's not going to have endurance anymore. And this is a 16/16 flyer. And we are dead. Sure. Good game, opponent. Hit me in the face. For even more. Good game. Well, hopefully we won't get so choked on resources in the next one. Yeah, redraw, please. Give us some good resources. There we go. That's a bit more to my liking, I think. Go ahead and Seed of Wisdom and pass. Still would like to have some of our earlier drops if we can get them, but 3 Xenan Obelisk is pretty strong, all things considered. Looks like we could be up against a mirror match. However, there is another time and primal deck that is widely played, which is called Shimmer Pack. Alright, there's a Lynx. And a Permafrost, so this is going to be a frog, and it's going to be stunned. Or maybe it's not. Does that not count as targeting it directly? That's a little weird. Play our banner, and then our Ageless Mentor. Would love to have held it, so that we could pump up higher cost cards in our hand. However, we don't have any, and we need to get some stuff on the board. Displacer's probably going to bounce this girl. And indeed it does. The scouting party. Well, that could be good in a short while if we can stay alive. If we don't get out-tempoed here. Amber Acolyte pulls them a sigil of their choice from their deck. Does not want to trade, it looks like. Well, we're going to seek power for a time sigil. And play our... There is an argument to be made, well, which we can't, but if we could, to play the scouting party first. So we'll play our Obelisk and pass. Polymorph, that's fine, it still gets the pluses. And I think I will block there, so so the frog will stay alive. Another Acolyte, good. Good for them. Seed of Wisdom, we'll play that. We need to get to 8 for our Obelisks to start giving us +2 to everything. Play our scouting party here. And unfortunately, we may have to chump some of them away. An initiate for the opponent there. Chooses not to attack. Well, I am going to play my other Obelisk then. And they just scooped that. Alrighty. Well, we'll take it however we can get it, won't we? Gotta levitate. Cool. Yeah, redraw again, please. Alright. Looks like we are forever cursed to not have good resources in our opening hands today. Alright, that helps. I'm going to hold off on the Seek Power so that I can play a Storm Lynx. That will also allow our banner to come into play. Usable this next turn when we play it, since we have a unit. Play that. We'll Temple Scribe to draw a card. False Prince is fine. And we'll Seek Power for a Primal Sigil. This Instigator is a 3/3. When a unit dies, it deals 1 damage to its owner. We don't want to double block here, because if they have a torch, then they'll blow us out. They'll kill both of our creatures and theirs will stay alive. Champion of Chaos. And they almost have all of the thresholds to get all of its abilities. It is deadly at the moment. Let's go ahead and play out our False Prince. Even though chances are they can target it and turn it into a 1/1 frog. And there it is, the torch. Taking a damage from the Instigator. This thing is Overwhelm. I think we just take 8 here. No blocks. Pteriax Hatchling. We'll play this. Then we'll try to slow our opponent down a bit. We're going to stun the champion. And since we have pretty much no intention of blocking, we'll start attacking. Alright, got us down to 11. Sigils are good for us. We'll stun this again. Then we will attack again. Annihilate, okay, killing our 1/1. It's a little bit of a waste if you ask me, but I guess they didn't. And we'll play our... we'll play our Pteriax Hatchling. No blocks. We do need to deal with this eventually. That helps a ton. Well, maybe. We still need to keep this locked down, so maybe it doesn't help as much as I thought. I got kind of excited there for a moment. Yeah, we need to keep this locked down. Then I guess we'll swing for 4. And I think we're probably going to lose this game. It's just not coming together for us. Let's play out our other hatchling. And we probably should start chumping and just taking the 1 from our creature dying here to slow our blood loss. And Obliterate gets us. Okay. This seems keepable. It's a little slow, but I'm reluctant to ship it back. We'll start off with the banner. And then into the Seat of Wisdom. Our opponent's showing fire, but with no first turn play. That's quite good for us. Alright, there's a Rakano Outlaw. Probably we'll just go ahead and Permafrost that. Luckily we've got turn 4 Sandstorm Titan, which should be pretty good here if they don't have a Vanquish to kill it with. And they don't. Okay, yeah, I'll keep this. Alright. Play our banner out and then pass back. Looks like they are on Combray of some description. Copper Conduit. Alrighty. Well, we'll play our Time Sigil and pass back. Planning to flash this in and try to eat that. which may or may not work depending on if they have a finest hour, and it appears they don't. Let's attack. Looks like they may be stuck on resources there, or they just forgot to play one. I don't know which. We'll play a banner and play a Dawnwalker. Alright, they're going to silence here probably. Yep. Desert Marshal has ambush and can silence a unit when it comes into play. Awakened Student, okay. Every time they play a resource, this will get +1/+1 permanently. We are going to play our Obelisk and then attack with both of these. And they are indeed stuck on resources. I very much sympathize with them. That's just one of the things you deal with when playing a card game, randomness inherent in it. If that's something that you can't deal with, then playing card games is probably something you should avoid doing. We will attack with this, and then we'll pass. I want to kill this with our Scorpion Wasp before it gets any bigger. Sorry, friend. There's a Rhino for us. However, I think we want to play two things this turn, since we have a lot of 3 drops, so we'll play this. We'll make our Rhino bigger. Then we'll play a Hatchling and pass back. Another Awakened Student. And I am very sorry for the opponent being stuck as they are. Rhino. And we'll go ahead and seek power as well. Hold that for now. Alright, there we go. Gets it pumped up a little bit. Finally hits their 3rd resource, killing our Rhino with the Vanquish. I think it's too late, and it is. We are going to mulligan this for sure. And this isn't a ton better, honestly. I'm going to start with the banner, just in case we draw a sigil. And then we can play something, maybe. Oni Ronin, okay. Diplomatic Seal, that will do it. We'll get a 2nd Primal, since we have another time thing here and end the turn. Hopefully we can eat this with our Storm Lynx. We will attempt. And they have a torch. So that stops that whole plan. They got their war cry. Seal, so they are on Recano here. We'll play our monument and pass back. Try to do it again. Block. Another torch. Alright, our plans are getting foiled. Another Storm Lynx. Well, I guess we'll try for a 3rd time. Block. And we are finally successful. This between this and the Crown Watch, they got a lot of war cries there, so this Scorpion Wasp may be doing some real work here. We'll play our Ageless Mentor. And we're going to pass. Keep both these to block the Ronin. There is the Crown Watch Paladin that's been war-cried onto all those times here. We'll pass back again. Hopefully they didn't draw another torch. Scorpion Wasp. Alright, that's good for us. Diplomatic Seal is also good for us. We will play that. And we're going to attack with just the Mentor before we play this Titan out. That way we have 2 blockers back for sure. They can kill this with a Vanquish if they have it. Alright, they have a Valkyrie to silence it. Or to silence... Okay, they're going to kill it. I was about to be very confused there. Block. Another Scorpion. So that's probably our better play as opposed to the Obelisk here. So we'll pass. And Scorpion. Block. Good deal. And now we'll get our Obelisks flowing. As we seem to have stabilized a bit. Alright, there's another thing they've war-cried onto. I suppose we'll play another Obelisk. And attack with one of these. Alright, they do have a second Vanquish, so that's unfortunate for us. We are winning the life race. That helps a lot too. Well, let's attack. We'll play a Hatchling. And we'll play a Permafrost. And I'm not playing this because we don't get the power immediately. It will be we'll be at 0 of 5. We don't get it until the next turn. Alright, this is another Warcry thing. We could use... I was about to say we could use another power to be able to play and activate this Eye of Wisdom in the same turn. But I guess we didn't get a chance. Alright, Spirit Drain. Well, I think that will do it for this episode of Laddering in Eternal. Thank you so much for watching. I do hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, please leave a like below. It really does help out tremendously. And hit that subscribe button if you'd like to see more videos from me in the future. I have been Tevaron, and until next time, friends, be excellent to each other.